Righto, so it's the next day, next afternoon, after the last footage. Off camera, I drew roughly where things are going to go in the front of this bull nose. Then I cut up the top of the toaster and made this grill surround. Hopefully the footage turned out, I'm not too sure, I haven't previewed, but pretty much made this, which goes on the front. You can ignore this stuff at the back, that'll go behind it, so pretty much just this front piece here. And also at the moment I'm only building for width. I will get to the height later. It's easier for me to just do this and then cut it shorter and bring it up. So I want to pause the grill for a sec, because the next thing I want to do is cut out the hole where this grill's going to go. And if I do that, it might make this a wee bit weak and floppy, so before I cut out the hole I need to sort out these mounting points around the side here first, while it's just one solid piece. Then once I've got that sitting right, then I'll cut this hole out. Once I cut the hole out, then I can go back to the grill. So that's what I'm going to do, I think. It's always good to pause, you know, because I was all keen. I was going to take this here, I was going to cut a hole out and do all this last night, and I thought, hold on a sec, just have a beer, think about what you're doing. So it pays to just let things sit overnight sometimes. So yeah, let's get on. So it's the next day again. Yesterday I did a little bit. I got these in nicely here, so that's there, and I drilled some holes mounted there. I did some on camera, some off camera, so I'm kind of happy with that sitting. Then I cut that piece of trim from the modified trim from the toaster, just cut it in half, and that gives me two. So what I'll do is continue working on these. I'll just take the pick of the litter, whichever one's the best. So what I'm going to do is continue working on these two grills, I want to take my time with these and think on it and get it right, because pretty much these here are pretty much what's going to give this truck its look, I think. So I want to try and get these about right. So next I'm putting in I need to tack these on to the base here, and then I'll put in the mesh behind it, which is one moment please, Cullah. Right, so can you see that there? This here, this bit of stainless, I believe this is a drip tray from a coffee machine. You can see I've already cut out a piece here. That was when I did the Rust Never Sleeps Rat Rod Roadster. It's part of the grill. So I'll just cut more out of this and stick it behind these bits of trim and get it all together. And then I'll go back to thinking exactly how I'm going to cut this out, because I haven't quite figured it out yet. I mean, I can cut a hole out, yeah, it's not rocket science, but I'm just trying to figure out if I can keep the grill surround separate from this, or whether I'm just going to weld it in. And if I'm going to weld it in, I need to be sure to put tape over this before I weld it in, because that's going to be spray painted and that's not things. Yeah, that's why I stop quite often and start thinking a few steps ahead, just to make sure I'm not making things difficult for myself. So in there, I was thinking this morning, I've got to build all the dash and interior in here, and that might be worth doing before I fully weld this on as well, just so it's easy to get stuff back there. So yeah, we're getting there. Alright, let's get on. Yeah, so I forgot about the camera where it was pointing, and did the grill, which was pretty much cut it out of that stuff there, and yeah, put them in there. They're just sitting in there loose at the moment, so now you're caught up on what I did because the camera wasn't seeing it. I shall continue. I gotta tidy up the welds in here, cut these tabs off, things like that. Just tweak them. So yeah, let's get back at it.
I don't work no hours, and that's plain to see. I need more loving than a dog in heat, but I don't get nothing that ain't sweet. Oh, you work no hours and you try real tough, Ain't try 1 second, 'cause 2 seconds enough. Oh, babe, you work hard on me. I'm just a lazy man in love with you.
So there it is. The grills pretty much look the same as before, but they have been tacked in at the back. I dropped it on the floor by accident and it didn't fall apart, so I'll call that the drop test. So the next thing is pretty much to cut out the hole to mount that in, but before I do that, I think what I'll do is drill a hole here and there with the step drill and weld in headlight buckets. I want to do that before I cut the big hole in here, just to reduce the risk of movement and distortion when I'm applying heat there. Excuse me, wasn't looking at the viewfinder again. Righto, anyway, that's what we're doing next, drilling holes and welding light buckets in, and then I'm pretty sure I'll be okay about cutting that out. Alright, let's get at it. Okay, so I've got the headlight buckets in using these little canisters. It's a bit of an abortion back here, poopy welds, and this hole here I cocked it up and had it too high, so I had to slog it out a bit, so I just made a little, drilled a hole in a second piece of sheet and just put that behind it to take it, because otherwise there's a fairly decent gap there. Can you see that? Not sure if you can. In there, and in the bigger scheme of things, it's minor, won't even be noticed. So yeah, that's done. Yeah, so yeah, cocked it up, not trying to hide it, just, you know, just move on, fix it. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of clearance on the top here to clear the poopy welds, get that back on there, and probably call the video. Actually, you guys are probably screaming, just put the damn grill in, but nah, I'm not ready yet. Very close. So I just want to do some more stuff on the interior, because now that I'm starting to think about this grill going on and that sort of thing, what's going behind it, and I'm thinking I don't have a sound unit at the moment, but I'm thinking I'd like to put a sound unit in it, so I want to make a speaker housing or enclosure or mount behind the grill, so I want to do that. That brings me on to this actually. Last night I was having a couple of beers and whatnot, you know how it is, rummaging through my scrap pile, and I spotted this. It's lawnmower cover. My sister gave it to me, thank you sister. But I am thinking this piece across the top here, I could cut that out and make that the dash, which is a lot more stylish than the real trucks have. And this back piece, I think I can cut this up and turn it into the doghouse to cover the motor. And it's got a lovely patina. Check that out. So we won't be painting that. So yeah, lawnmower cover is going to become the interior of this truck, I think. So yeah, we'll leave the video at that, guys, and we'll continue on with the build in the next one. Alright, catch us later.